maybe it's not that bad because as far as I'm concerned, I already dated a woman. Okay?
What? When? When you did, when was this?
My kid is, my baby mama. Yes, child. It wasn't actually a woman, but the characteristics and stuff, like that. You get what I'm saying? What? Listen, feminine men exist. You know what I'm saying? So, with that, it's one of those things to where I was like, it might not be that bad because I was already in I was already homo. Okay? So, I'm just like, maybe it won't be that bad. But the only thing is, I'm just not used to having a detachable and detachable thing. So, that's my only thing. But it won't be the first time.
And now, for the moment all you motherfuckers been waiting for. All my flip mode niggas rise and await for the most powerful event to occur. The coming! The coming!
2026, and I don't know what tomorrow holds, or the day after that, or the day after that. No, I really don't know. Right? But I like to think that, personally speaking, things are looking up for me. Okay? I'm more clear in mind than spirit than I have been in my entire life. And, part of that joy, is my son. Okay? My son, I have two children that I father, but my son that I currently raise, he's my joy. Right? And I gotta be honest and whatnot. Who knows? Maybe I'll be well off and whatnot on the physical. Maybe I'll be well off. Maybe I'll be able to actually pursue my interest in it, fully, because up until this point and whatnot, I always had a hand in my face of people urging me to do things or just working against me while I was actually working to do something. It's like somebody trying to saw down a tree and someone's, working against you from the other side. In my case, that'd be a redwood. All right. So, up until this point, it was all part of the plan to, artificially make me something less than I was and shit. And what I'm referring to is overt black female misandry. Okay, that is a problem. That is what I perceive to be the number one problem in our community and whatnot. And the people that look away and co-sign this shit and the rug sweep it, gaslight themselves and everyone around them and shit, I found that they are a problem. Right? That being said, whether I'm papered up or not, my pet project, okay, my passion project as far as SYSBM content goes is to make young men aware that they have options, that they have choices, that they're here to live their best life, not to serve anyone else's needs and whims and shit, because that's basically what it amounts to. A lot of the women in the supposed ethnic community were lost. Okay, and they're gonna stay lost and shit in a Bermuda Triangle of their own fucked up, misandric fever dreams and shit. Okay, we see this every day with all the nonsense they post on social media. The things they do that are embarrassing and shit, and how they hijack the entire community for their childish narrative and take us along in a egregious display of flat blackness on the political level and shit, social levels. Okay, and presentation as well. Okay, well, all the while excoriating us simply for breathing. That being said, like I was starting to say, actually, my pet project is dealing with black female misandry on all levels of shit and combating it and shit. Okay, some people want to call this shit a gender war. I don't feel that way. Okay, I do what I do, not out of spite, but I gotta be human, and there is some spite in there and some resentment and shit because, as I sit here today speaking 2026, alternate voice or not, I like you to know that my entire family was destroyed by overt black female misandry, among other things. Shit, okay? That was the gateway. My entire bloodline was wiped out and shit. And I got this, one of the two kids, that I'm raising and shit. Now the other one is who he is. I'm raising this kid so that he can survive into the future and whatnot and continue my family line. Okay? Because your children are your future, they are your legacy. Shit, I know this is a strange way for me to start off a video, but sometimes you have to do something new. Okay? My entire family is no more because of black female misandry. Okay? And people making bad decisions, and the parents' bad decisions bleeding into subsequent generations until it was almost uh, body horror shit on a spiritual level. Alright? That being said, you have this woman here, right? This woman pictured here. Her name is Lala Milan. She's some sort of comedian and influencer. And I never heard or cared about her, and I still don't to this day and whatnot. But the fact that she spoke the way she did about the father of her child, uh, it triggered me. Okay? To be quite honest, it did trigger me. And it triggers me to say some things that you would think were mean. Now I'm going to say those things. Okay? I'm going to say those things and whatnot because she disrespected the father of her child and her son at the same goddamn time while trying to be funny. Mm-mm. Sure ain't much to look at, is she? No, she ain't much to look at. She has a plethora of different weaves that she wears. You know, I guess she would be as, you know, if I wanted to be nice, I'd say she was slim thick, but I won't. Right? She has a thin, masculinely athletic body, some boobs. You know, maybe they're hers. Who knows? Who cares? You know, I made these fucking comments because of her comments about, you know, the father of her child. Okay, she called him a woman and shit, and she made aspersions on his orientation and shit. And said that she felt like she was in a gay relationship with this guy because no. I looked him up and he does have a lot of self-care videos and shit. And he just looks like a fucking noob, you know, a product of the modern times. And he's all tatted up all over his place. And he has this weird, innocuous kind of Will Smith smile on his face and shit. And I seen a photo of him with, you know, wearing like a face mask and shit. And yeah, I don't know what to make of it and shit. I just know that he's her validation that she's fuckable. Okay? He's her validation and shit. She's taking all these cringy couples pics and there's disingenuous looks on both of their faces, but mostly hers and shit. Because she already knows she's gonna pull the okie doke on this guy and Jew him out of his you know, out of his fatherhood and shit. That's what most women in the community do and shit. They want a baby from you if you're productive in any kind of fucking way. Right? The older you get, the more likely you're gonna get a lot of these you know, women coming in, you know, kind of trying to groom you and shit, and attack your ass and shit. Like I said, it's a senior citizen and shit. I've seen my fair share of younger bust downs coming in my direction and shit until they look directly at my face. Alright? So, yeah, you know, I'm a little put out by her comments and shit. A lot of people were put out by her comments. Because she was sitting there holding the child that her and this guy shared, you know, the guy fathered, right? It's Lala Milan. She's supposed to be a comedian, but she didn't make me laugh. Okay, I didn't laugh at nothing that came out of her fucking mouth. She has no talent as far as I'm concerned. Okay, she has no fucking talent and shit. And I found her behavior egregious and shit. We put up with this shit every day, this blatant disrespect. There's no tone policing from male to female in our supposed community and shit, but they get to just take all of these free shots and shit, you know? All these free fucking shots. And I know I wanted to stop, so I'm making a motherfucking video, right? And I'm shadow banned the hell anyway, so, you know, a few of you will see it and shit, you know, maybe you might want to share this, right? This is Lala Milan and shit. Talking out of pocket, sitting up in her interview and shit with her baby. You know, running her mouth, talking shit about the baby's father over the baby, literally over the baby. You see the baby staring at her and shit pointedly, even though he's a small infant. He knows what she's saying. He knows she ain't talking about nothing, and she ain't shit. And his chances of becoming a pookie are over 100%, right? Of becoming less than productive member of society is way over 100% because of her attitude towards the father of the child and shit. All right? And you motherfucking. Let me stop. So, I don't want to go on a tangent, but I get tired of listening to Miss Sanders. Black women making these demands of black men and shit, offering nothing in return and shit because, you know, reasons and shit, they turn the organic into the inorganic and shit. And I lament this, right? I lament the tossing out of everything emotional for something transactional and shit. And you know, it's not the genie's not going back in the bottle and shit. It's just gonna keep spilling out and shit, jizzing out until we get to our natural conclusion and shit. You know, it's gonna be a lot of fucking, you know, it'll be a lot less black people, right? You know, pure black people and shit. Right? These women sit up alternately assaulting us every fucking day and then begging us to come and save their ass and shit from their own bad decisions and shit. And I said, fuck it, right? Especially when I look at this woman and shit. She shouldn't be taking pot shots. She should be grateful for this guy to be laid up with her fucking ass. And she is no prize. I'm like, miss, you are no fucking prize. You're busted, okay? You know, YouTube says I can't call you ugly as fuck, right? I'm gonna say you look like a whole fucking clown with a plethora of wigs on and shit. I can't say shit like that, okay? And I can't say that I'm put out by the pictures of you nursing your child, and then you're sitting up holding a child in a kind of like in a haphazard way and shit, in which nobody should handle a small, very small infant like that and shit. You know, she's just posing, and she's not even looking happy in the fucking picture, right? She's not even looking happy because that's just work. It's not raising a kid. That's fucking work and shit. She's not smiling or nothing. She had like this static expression on her face. And then the little baby, I think it looks like a girl or something. She's just sitting there staring at shit. I feel bad for this kid. I think that the kid should be given to the father or put in foster care and shit. Because it's just a prop to her. It's not even a human being and shit. I have a pet peeve about women abusing their children in this manner and shit. And I think it's tragic. Okay? A lot of you destroyed your children before they was even walking because of your petulant, childish behavior. Okay? So, woman, you ain't talking about shit. You should get down on your fucking hands and knees at your baby daddy's feet. This motherfucker named Tyler Parker. You should get down there, take his shoes and socks off, and kiss his fucking feet. Right? You should kiss his motherfucking feet and shit. You know? I don't care what you do in the future. I don't care what you're doing now. I don't care what you did in the past and shit. But your comments about this man annoyed the fuck out of me. Right? You're no prize. Right? You're nothing to have. If there was a bunch of women you were standing out there, you'd be invisible. Okay? I wouldn't come up to you. You'd buy me a drink and ferry me about in your vehicle and then get clapped up and shit. It would, you know, not even looking at my face. I wouldn't want to look at your fucking face if I went there. Okay? And it had to be last call and shit. You have a last call face. Okay? What I mean when I say that is like, you know, if you ever been out to like a pub or something, they usually call out last call, like the last you can get drinks before the place closes down or something. All right. And in my experience in my past, uh, you know, I booking the system and shit, right? You know, life hack and everything. I would just wait until like 15 minutes before these places close and then go in there and then walk out with somebody. It's real fucking easy and shit, you know. Really an inconvenience to lay up with somebody that looks like Paris Milan and shit. Okay, I've been around. You know, I'm not ashamed to say that shit. No, not proud, not ashamed of shit. I never wanted it and shit. I only wanted to be with one person, and you know, it didn't work out. And you know, I had to find out that life goes on the hard way and shit because I had been socially engineered to think I was less than and shit, and that I was non-select and ugly and dumb and all this was bullshit that had been told to me by black misandrous women for generations and shit. And it's hard to fight out of their programming and shit. It's something I live with every day of my life and shit. Breaking the programming, the negative, you know, imprinting, the negative grooming and shit. You know, they want you to fail. They don't want you to be shit. Okay? Why did she lay up with this guy and have a kid? Okay? And I hate how you women complain about these men that you have, whose children that you have, and you don't even have enough autonomy to know when to use birth control. Okay? You don't use the many double-digit forms of birth control. You continually shit out babies that you don't fucking want, and blame the men that impregnated you when he can't get in there unless you open your goddamn legs. Okay? I'm tired of it. And I say fuck y'all. Okay, fuck your stories, fuck your TikToks and your Instagrams and shit. You know, talking about us ad nauseum and shit. Not realizing you're talking yourself into a fucking grave, and you got one foot on a banana peel economically and shit. And it's all your own doing, right? I'm gonna keep saying this woman is no fucking prize. She's busted looking. Got like age lines in her face, and I'm older than her fucking ass and shit. I got a fuller face than her ass and shit. She probably got the same amount of facial hair before she shaves. Ha ha. Now look at the guy. He looks like a goofy. Okay, I ain't even gonna lie. He looks like a goofy coon and shit. And I would, back in the, better days when I thought I was somebody's uncle or their father or something, I wouldn't allow this guy to be in the fucking same house. I wouldn't allow him to come in my motherfucking house and talk to the women in my family and shit. I know better now. I don't even care. They can lay up with a bear, a female bear for some of them, a devil bear for some of them that practice witchcraft and shit. No cap. So fucked up. Your biggest job is a man, right? Especially you got kids and everything. You locked in a codependent situation, 18 plus years, really the rest of your life and shit with a woman because you fucked up and didn't wear a hat. Your first job is to say no. That's your first job, and the only real job in establishing a relationship. Boundaries and shit. They need these things. And it's the reason they appreciate people that treat them like shit. Right? That's the reason that they appreciate people that treat them like shit. And it's also on the flip side, one of the reasons they pursue these men, these lesser than men that they like to run, drag under the bus after they fuck their living shit out of them, unprotected, impregnated themselves. Right? These motherfuckers do not have the ability to give birth immaculately. Right? They need you. They don't understand their place in a natural order and shit. So they do all this counterproductive shit that flies in the face of everything that, makes sense. Emotional intelligence. Right? It's a sunk cost fallacy dealing with sisters today. Okay? And most women in the West. I'm gonna be honest and shit. I didn't want to say that, but, I'm a black man in this platform and I'm talking to other black men and shit out there that, I am concerned would accidentally walk the same path that I walked, which led to the ending of my bloodline for all time to come and shit. The past, maybe the present, and definitely the future and shit. It's all boils down to women like this supposed comedian and others. Right? They made bad decisions. Their bad decisions creep over and seep into other generations of people and shit and ruin their lives as well. It's no joke and no fucking cap and shit. I want to tell you, if I ever see you coming down the same trail that, I just went down and shit, and still down there and shit, probably waiting to be the hangman, I'ma whoop your ass. Okay? Don't make the same mistakes that I made and shit in my life and shit. Okay? And don't accept, don't accept forward blame from, immature, childish, petulant, misandrous black women. Alright? I'm not even gonna do that outro. I'm so irritated with this woman and shit. You ain't no fucking prize, homegirl, okay? And you're fake. You're a phony piece of shit, okay? And you keep, put your coins in a fucking bank. Make a trust fund for that goddamn baby with whatever you have and shit. Get a few IRA accounts or something. Do something for your child and shit. Why don't you try growing up, bitch?
The Black Patriarchy. A non-existent group of fictional black male power brokers not discredited, erroneously jailed or outright killed by the minority majority who look the other way as they work tirelessly to shame, oppress, and outright take out the altruistic black female populace of the honorable democratic United States of America. 3K's inset bitches. These evil wealthy members of the black patriarchy are the sole reason for all the ills of the black community, walking, talking, holding down jobs, and doing everything up to and including giving their very lives in service to their baby mamas and baby's motherfucking kids. Their motto that strikes fear into the hearts of black women everywhere: bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks.